My name is LaShawn Jenkins, and I am the founder of 828 Roundtable and Life Coaching. First of all, I'd like to thank you for your willingness to view this clip. Also, thank you for your willingness and your consideration of supporting this program. A little bit about myself. I grew up in rural North Carolina. Grew up in a single-parent household. I grew up in a relatively impoverished neighborhood. Government assistance and government support was widespread where I grew up. But the thing that made a big difference in my life, which ultimately led to my opportunity to be successful, was that I grew up in a household where there was plenty of discipline, and also grew up in a household where academics was the #1 priority. Academics along with a good character. And so my mom always emphasized that in addition to having great academic performance, that I had to have a good reputation. And so, having said that, even though most of the kids around me were on a downward spiral, somehow or another, because of that push from home, I was able to really rise to the top of my class. I was able to graduate high school as a North Carolina academic scholar. I was also able to attend East Carolina University, where I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in history, a Bachelor of Arts degree in political science, as well as a minor in African political system. And so I spent my last 13 years in North Carolina as a high school history teacher. I've also spent my last 13 years as a high school coach. I've coached tennis. I've coached basketball. I've also coached soccer. Currently, I am the boys and girls soccer coach at my high school. Played college tennis at East Carolina from 1997 to 2000. And so I said all that to say that I came back to my hometown, or actually my home county. I'm not from this town. But I came back here for a reason. It was because I wanted to give back to young students who just needed that extra push, particularly in an area that has been characterized by high unemployment, a low socioeconomical status, and high levels of poverty. And so what I have decided to do is I have started an organization called 828 Roundtable and Life Coaching. And in this organization focuses on a certain type of young man. My first 10 years as a teacher, I felt like that I spent my time really trying to save those what we might label as bottom kids. And I think looking back now, I realized that some of those kids didn't want to be saved. And so I'm at the point in my academic career, my teaching career, that I want to focus on kids who want to be successful, but kids who may not necessarily know how to be successful. I also want to focus on kids that may often get overlooked. And so 828 Roundtable on Life Coaching is not necessarily targeting that valedictorian, or is not necessarily targeting that juvenile delinquent, so to speak, but it's targeting those kids that are right in the middle, who often go overlooked, who have a world of potential, but just don't know how to uncover it. So 828 Roundtable is about helping young men discover the greatness that I believe that already lives within them. And so typically, in a session, these young men are forced to soul search, they're forced to face reality, they're forced to dig deep, and they're forced to be transparent in areas of their life that maybe they have not had to be, which I think is key in order to move forward in terms of seizing the momentum, seizing the potential, and also realizing the potential that lives within them. And so, as I've already disclosed what type of young men I target, 828 Roundtable on Life Coaching is now for kids as young as 7 years old and as old as 18. And so I really start really young, and I target young men who I feel that have that potential to be successful, have that potential to set goals, and not only set goals, but to achieve them. And my vision for 828 Roundtable on Life Coaching, which is one of the reasons why I'm submitting this video, is my vision is that this program is going to impact an entire nation of young men who need that direction. Right now, this program just consists of young men in my school, also my community, and some neighboring counties. But it's my dream and it's my vision that I would like to expand this program from county to county, from border to border, and from state to state. And so I just feel that 828 Roundtable is going to be one of those programs that's going to change society as we know it, in terms of young men who often get looked over, and young men who often are not necessarily molded because we're either stereotypical in our approach, or either sometimes we assume different assumptions before we get a chance to meet these young men. And so that's a little bit about myself. That's a little bit about 828. I would like to thank you for your support. Thank you for your consideration. I'm real excited about your decision to support 828 Roundtable and Life Coaching, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.